Happy Friday, everyone. If you're feeling really tired like I am today and thinking, thank God it's the weekend, I really want you to watch this video. At Fully Alive Wellness, I'm now offering my patients B12 injections. This little vial could literally change your life. You've probably heard of B12 before, but I want to tell you why it's one of my favorite treatments to use with patients. B12 is so important for almost every process in the body, and so many people are actually deficient in B12. And the reason is because we don't produce B12 on our own in our own bodies. We have to take it in through food. And the biggest source of B12 in our food is through animal meat. So if you're someone who has a vegan diet or vegetarian diet or just doesn't eat a lot of animal proteins, you're likely not getting enough B12. One of the other reasons is because we need to have intrinsic factor to absorb B12. And in order to have proper digestion of B12 and proper absorption, you need to have your digestive system working well. So if you don't have enough stomach acid, if you have heartburn, if you have food sensitivities, or just a lot of digestive upset, you likely aren't absorbing as much B12 as you need to be. The other reason is that B12 is depleted by stress. We have so many different forms of stress in our lives. We have work stress, we have home stress, we have stress to our bodies from eating inflammatory foods. We have stress from being exposed to toxins and pollutions in our environment, as well as taking them in through things like smoking and alcohol consumption and all of those types of things. B12 also helps to detoxify the body and support the body through times of stress. So the more stressed we are, the more exposed to toxins we are, the more you're using up the B12 that you're taking in. On top of all of these reasons, there's many other reasons why I love B12 for my patients. One of them, the biggest ones, is that B12 helps produce energy. So if you think back to grade 10 chemistry class where you learned about the Krebs cycle and glycolysis, B12 has a super important role in this process. And so if you're someone who wakes up, feeling really fatigued, gets really sluggish through the day, has a lot of stress in your life, B12 is likely going to help you with all of those things. The other reason that I love B12 is that it really is important for proper production of hormones, and this is often overlooked. So if you have infertility, if you have frequent miscarriages, if you have painful periods, if you have anything hormonal going on in your body, B12 can actually be a very helpful thing to take. B12 is also really important for making neurotransmitters. So if you think of those feel-good chemicals that we often hear about, B12 actually helps make them. So if you have proper B12, you have proper neurotransmitter function, which helps have a healthy mood. I use B12 a lot for patients with anxiety and patients with depression and have seen some really fantastic results. The other thing that B12 does is it helps lower something that's called homocysteine. And homocysteine, if it's high, actually increases your risk for cardiovascular disease and for stroke and for high blood pressure and all those kind of things that we're all trying to avoid. And so taking B12 is through supplementation or through injection can actually really help lower your risk of cardiovascular disease. It can help lower how thick your blood is and therefore reduce your risk of stroke. It's also very important to take B12 for proper function of our nervous system. If you suffer from sciatica, from herniated discs, or any type of nerve pain, B12 is actually very nourishing to the nerves and can help reduce that pain quite a lot. The last thing I just want to say about B12 is that it on top of being not taking it in properly by food, maybe not getting absorbed properly by food, it's also depleted by medications. One of the most common medications that I see that affects B12 is metformin, which is a medication that a lot of people are taking for diabetes. On top of metformin, there's a whole host of other medications that deplete B12 that I won't go into, but it's very important to talk to your doctor to see what nutrients are being depleted by the medications that you're taking. So if any of these things sound like you, if you feel like maybe something hormonal is going on with you, your energy isn't fantastic, maybe your mood could be worked on, your digestive system needs a little bit of help, I would really strongly consider talking to your naturopathic doctor about B12 injections. We now have them at Fully Alive Wellness Center, and they're a great way to get B12 in because it bypasses the digestive system and it goes straight into the bloodstream and helps you start getting to feel better a lot faster.